Greetings, family. This is Baba Kinaman, aka DJ DopeAmen, and I have decided to have a heart to hearth with myself and the rest of us, the rest of you Earthlings out there. I'm sitting here, I guess, in a quarantine, if you must, keeping to myself as much as I can. But I've been compelled to, speak out a little bit to um, just to quash and quell some of the panic, the pandemonium and all. The first thing I like to do is describe what's going on, not so much as a pandemic, but as a panicdemic. As you know, a pandemic is when a disease or a condition or something spreads, super fast, around the world and all. And, that's not what this is. The H1N1, bird flu, all the other different times and different flus that have hit have, taken, just as many lives, as this one. And so, viruses have been around on the planet, for a while. This is not a new thing. Viruses are, a normal part of our living, actually. And so I just wanted to, chime in on this just to, you know, just carefully, peacefully, lovingly, and calmly explain a few things to myself, my family, and loved ones. All right. So first and foremost, as I said, this is a pandemic. This is a situation that's being created by the so-called powers that be. People who are attempting to profit off of and make money off of the hysteria that they are creating. They, are overinflating numbers and making it seem like, a virus is something more than what it is. Just like HIV/AIDS, no one dies of the virus. They die of other things like pneumonia. They die of diabetes complications, hepatitis, and things like that. And so I don't wish to belittle anyone's, loss of loved one right now. But I'm just trying to say that viruses are something that we do and have dealt with, every season. It's something that we deal with every season. And essentially, the pandemic is designed to get us to eventually take the vaccine. I pray, hope, and envision that most people will become extremely leery of, cautious of, and choose not to vaccinate. It's not a wise thing to do. It takes years for something like a vaccination to be cleared to be safe. Vaccines are very dangerous. Vaccines are the cause of the incredible the rampant numbers of autism amongst black boys in specific, but just in general. The vaccinations are connected to autism in this country, especially. There's actually a disease called vaccinosis. I implore everyone to do just a cursory research concerning this, and you'll understand that, hey, they're very dangerous. It takes a lot of time to develop one safely, and there is not enough time. So essentially, what I'm trying to get at, family, is that this is a call for you to work on developing, heightening, and utilizing your immune system. Yes, there are some negative effects that are happening with the unfurling of 5G, but simultaneously, as they unfurl the 5G, I believe and feel very strongly that this is in response to the fact that we, as human beings, as God bodies, as enlightened ones, as ascended masters, we are shifting our consciousness into 5D. I didn't say 5G, I said 5D, and I mean the fifth dimension. Now, as most of you all know, you adepts and shaman are studying people, you know that we were taught in school that we're living in a three-dimensional time frame, a three-dimensional world, they say. And the fourth dimension is essentially the construct of time, Time. Now, time is relative to this particular atmosphere, this particular magnetosphere that we're living in right now. The concept of time on this planet is determined by the atmospheric pressure, the revolving of this planet around the sun, etc. These things are creating a certain time, and our ancient ancestors studied that time. Now, the fifth dimension is celestial time. This is moving into understanding the mechanics of what's happening outside of this atmosphere, aka in space. So space time. So there's a few things I want you to take into account as we think about this. The first thing is, a lot of you all who are studying, you remember that there was supposed to be a lot of panic and madness to happen in 2012. The only thing that happened was there was some movies made. Well, it just so happens, my brothers and sisters, that according to the Mayan calendar and the Ethiopian calendar, this is 2012. The so-called 2020 within the Gregorian calendar, which has 12 months, unlike the Ethiopian calendar or the Mayan calendar, they have 13 months. So as a result, this calendar accelerates faster than the actual calendars, lunar calendars, by these great civilizations. And it's 2012 in those calendars, and 2020 in this one here. All right. So is this a coincidence, or is this a clue for you to pay attention to? So it's 2012. It was predicted by the Mayan calendar that there will be a cosmic shift of consciousness and destruction of the world as we know it. Now, when I say destruction of the world as we know it, I'm not speaking about destruction as in this planet coming to an utter disaster. I mean that there's going to be a shift in consciousness, and that shift would be us moving into understanding that we are, as a planet, shifting into the fifth dimension of existence. This is higher than 5G existence. 5G is an artificial intelligence situation. It's a connecting of computer grids, if you must, casting a big electronic net over the planet. And of course, there's going to be some negative fallout from that, from human beings. There's always a negative fallout when new technology comes in, but it's not enough to take us out. I need you to understand this clearly. No weapon, no legislation, and no virus formed against me shall prosper. Let's say it together. No weapon, no legislation, no virus formed against me shall prosper. This is what I want everybody to take into account and recognize, that no weapon, no legislation, and no virus formed against you will prosper. I'd like for you to take a moment to imagine one of the life forms on here that unfortunately too many of our people in the ghetto recognize, and that is the roach. A lot of y'all have heard how you can spray that Raid and all the other pesticides out there if you want to, but roaches ain't a bit more worried about that. They can't be killed. Like baby kids, they just multiply. Well, we baby kids, we Els and Bays, we're the gods of this planet. We cannot be killed and we cannot be destroyed. You don't have to worry about a thing, y'all. Do a little research on the Mayan calendar. Find out what time it is. That's number one. Number two, boost your immune system. You've heard all the talk. People are switching to vegetarian. People are drinking alkaline water. Personally, this birthday month of mine has been quite a revelation. I started off by experiencing a float. That is, I floated in a dark room with 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt. It causes your body to float. Being in the dark room like that, it causes you to return to the womb. And being in that salt water cleansed my skin as well as my consciousness. Then after that, I had the nerve to come down to spend some quality time with my beloved friend and fellow light bearer and light seeker, Tahita. We've attended a melanated conference. We've taken trips out to get pure spring water. And just recently, we participated in a sweat lodge, and we tasted and experienced, what we would call psychotropic medicine to give us insight into our higher destinies and the higher resonances of life. Yes, we travel to the fifth dimension. What I'm saying is, it's a time for you to take advantage of this situation where they're trying to get you to panic. Use this as a situation to develop yourself, develop your psyche, develop your immune system, develop your goal, your vision, and your plan for yourself and your life. When you're given lemons, make lemonade. If you can't go outside, then go within. Don't be afraid. Don't worry. Be nappy. During this same period, I noticed I somehow took my Nazarene vows again. I have not put a razor to my face. I've enjoyed the idea that I don't have to, shave my beard. I've enjoyed the idea that I haven't tried to make myself presentable to the shitstem. Wake up, people. This is the best staycation you could ever ask for. Take the time to get to know your wife and your spouse. Take your time to get to know your children. Take your time to experience, a little lean in your place. Just take stock. Some of us that were preppers before we lost our place when nothing happened in 2012. Go ahead and stock your cabinets up with the dry goods and things. Act like you know. There is a shift taking. They're bringing on 5G. That's going to be an advantage for us as well. But what's really happening is we're shifting into 5D, the fifth dimension. All right? Let the sun shine in. Use this as a time to regroup, refacilitate, restructure, reanalyze, recapitulate, and reinvent yourself. Like I said, whenever you can't go outside, go on ahead and go within. It's just as infinite inside of you as it is outside of you. This is DopeAmen. I hope you've enjoyed this Heart to Hearth. I hope that you take these words to heed. Do not worry about this pandemic. Turn the news off. Turn your favorite music on. Write your favorite song. Write a book. Write a poem. Take your time and make love to your spouse. Take your time to reach out to a friend. Do wellness check-ins. Get to know your children. That's all this is an opportunity to get to know yourself, your loved ones better. Be easy. Be cool. Be calm. Right on, right on.